Hey y'all, I almost didn't post this, I almost didn't record this, but I changed my mind just in case. This is, I think, very much tied to the last reading I did, and I mean, if you watch more than one of my readings, you might notice that they do kind of tend to weave in and out similar messages, similar storylines some of the time. And I mean, unless I try to actively cut the storyline off, which I do sometimes. So I'm not going to talk too much. I really just wanted to mainly read you what is going on these oracles, and I'll comment on the tarot that I pulled. I honestly was just about to put these away, and I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to at least read these oracles and give you a little commentary as quickly as I can. I know reading isn't ideal, but once again, if you watch my videos, I like to read from these books because to me, it's often the words that are here, even if it's just like a couple words, sometimes they'll hit me. There'll be an echo of something I've heard, or I'll hear it later somewhere else, and things will just click. So certainly I could interpret them for you, but I think it's important that we read from the book. Some of these are better written than others. I don't particularly like Ciro Marchetti's book for all the cards. Some of them are really strange, but some of them are quite profound. So I'm going to jump in here really quick. The first card out was this guy, number 25. Okay. So this is about misleading, illusion, confusion. He does look like a magician, yeah. Looks like a little bit of a trickster. So what it says here is, do not be misled by what you see around you or be influenced by what you see. You live in a world which is a playground of illusion, full of false paths, false values, and false ideals, but you are not part of that world. And I'm not sure how to say this, but the person who said that was Sai Baba, I believe. Could be wrong pronunciation. Don't shoot me if you are Sai Baba. So, card 25. What we experience and how we interact is often indirect and from a distance. Physical interaction that would normally have provided all of our senses an opportunity for feedback and assessment is now increasingly being replaced by virtual alternatives. From email and texting to social networking, our relationships are becoming increasingly defined by virtual interaction that can distort and substitute reality. We can now create multiple new identities. How we go after quantifying people and events is now increasingly based on new paradigms that can provide a false perspective both for viewed and viewers alike. So, I mean, obviously, I don't need to comment on that, I don't think, but yeah, right? We are so often online. Even YouTube, when you are on camera, which I'm not, because I didn't take a shower until late today. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all my mothers out there. I am, once again, where was that at? You're not part of that world? Yeah, I'm not part of the world of mothers who wake up early. Whoop, sorry. Who wake up early and go to brunch and crap like this. My idea of Mother's Day is not getting up early. So I slept in, and then I didn't do much of anything. I hung out with my mom, of course, exchanged presents with my daughter and my mom and things like this. But I really didn't do anything today. Well, the bulk of my entire weekend, it has been trying to nail down someone to fix my concrete step of my front porch. And to be honest with you, this kind of reminds me of that, because all of my interaction is, virtual with these people, mostly that I do not know, and I don't trust, like, anybody. So it's very hard. This is one of the experiences, not to go off on a tangent about myself, but maybe this is synchronistic. I don't know. One of the things I've learned owning a home for the past 5 years is that, well, I already knew this, but it's been exacerbated. I do not like asking for help. I do not like needing someone to help me do anything. If in my own perfect world, I would be able to fix everything for myself, right? But unfortunately, I only have 2 hands, and I can only lift so much weight. So this is a problem. I don't have nearly enough expertise or help or experts around me to tackle all the things that come up with owning a house. And contractors, I mean, half of them, I don't even believe that they're a real business. Like this magician guy here, like I don't even know if they're legit. I just don't trust anyone, right? So this is a big obstacle for me, and something, it's been a learning experience. I don't think I'm ever going to own another home where it is not, you know, like a condo or something like this, because as much as I hate relying on someone else to do things, I had basically an anxiety attack all weekend, like an ongoing one, having to deal with this situation, because it's just so terrifying to me. Like, and it's urgent. I need it done. This isn't something you can put off. You know, this isn't like in my backyard. This is my front yard. This is how people get to my house. It's how I get out of my house. So it's kind of important. So anyway, I'll shut up about that. But this has been, you know, this is part of the journey, and this is something I've learned on this journey, is that I am only one person, and I can't do these things, and I personally just do not want to have to rely on somebody else, or even rely on myself to find somebody else, because it's too much. It's too much. So as much as I probably should have been out getting tanked at brunch, like so many other mothers out there, I was not. I was sleeping, and then I didn't do much. And I have a headache. I just haven't felt very well for a few days. So we'll move on from this. You know, you get it. You get the idea, right? You don't always know who you're dealing with. Even if it's not, you know, someone at a distance, even if it's somebody that you're just contacting to do a job, and, you know, you're over the phone or whatever. I mean, they could be anybody. So there's always that worry, right? But let's move on, because there's a progression here. So take that for whatever it means to you. Obviously use caution, especially if you're, you know, online dating, things like this. There are some criminals out there, legit ladies. Especially, I mean, I can't really speak for men, because I haven't tried to date women online, but I can definitely speak from a woman's perspective on this. There are like legitimate criminals out there. You need to be careful. So the next card is this one, Flights of Fancy. Leap of Faith, taking a next step. We keep talking about the Fool. The Fool did come up in the tarot, and I only pulled 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. So the Fool is one of the cards. So, I mean, this is a theme here. Taking a leap of faith, Flights of Fancy, taking a next step. Okay. And this is super important. This is like one of my mantras of life right here. It's a quote by H. Jackson Brown. I don't know if this is the quote, you know, that I would reference necessarily, but it's definitely one of my rules for life. So it says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you did not do, than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. And, okay, I'll just read it. So this is card 5. If you take that leap of faith, oh, the places you could go, but you'll never know until you try. We can dream and hope and take that leap, but there are risks involved. Nevertheless, we do not have to be a tarot fool, innocently leaping from a cliff. We can instead assess the scenario, the dangers, and prepare. We can train or educate ourselves, become informed, take precautions, and increase our chances of success. Of course you can. I mean, just really quick, when we're talking about the online dating scenario, for example, I started running criminal back checks on people. Honestly. Like, I'm not even kidding, because I ended up going out with this felon, and I won't tell you the story, even though some of you might be fascinated to hear it, I'm sure, but I ended up going out with this felon who, I mean, yeah, I won't tell the whole story, but, like, as usual, because this is usually how it goes, I didn't even really, like, necessarily even want to talk to this person, you know, like, my first instinct was not to talk to this person. And that happens a lot, where, like, I pause and I'm like, should I even give this person the time of day? Like, he looks like a douchebag. I don't really even want to, you know, because there's, like, I don't really want to go down this road, but I feel like I have to give you something now that I said that. Because there's, like, this risk I feel, like, especially when I see somebody who comes off, like, what's the word? Not narcissist, necessarily, even though they tend to end up being that, but you know, someone who just comes off, I don't want to say looking too good either, because in my perspective it's not good, like, I'm not attracted to that, but when someone, it seems, is putting a lot of effort into their appearance, they're trying to portray a certain type of look, I mean, this could go, I mean, who knows, you could be dealing with this. So this is my filter, generally, especially now after having not trusted my instinct a couple times. I mean, you can tell when someone's faking it, you can tell when someone's posing, you can tell when someone's just spending too much time, and I mean, maybe you're into that, you know, I'm not judging, but I'm not. If a dude puts too much time into his appearance, then inevitably he's probably putting more time than I am into my appearance, and, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, like, I think I look pretty okay. I don't need to put a lot of effort into my appearance. Certainly if I do, I can look fantastic. I'm not going to try to be even too humble. I have confidence in my own looks, but I don't feel the need to spend a ton of time, ton of hours. I don't feel the need to spend a ton of money on clothes. So if I see a guy who's obviously doing that, like, that to me is a turnoff, actually, because that's like, then it seems like, okay, this guy's more high maintenance than I am, and so now what? Like, I can't even, you know, pick him up a random t-shirt, like, that I find that reminds me of him, because he's probably going to be like, oh, well, I can't wear this. You know, he'd probably rather burn it than, you know, not be seen in, I don't know, whatever brand of clothing men wear. I have no idea, nor do I care. But anyway, I don't remember why I even went down this road. But, oh yes, the criminal background check thing. I'm not even kidding. Do the background check. If you can't get enough information to do a criminal background check on someone, then you're not ready to go out with them. I mean, that's like a huge risk, man. You could end up dead. I'm not trying to be, you know, a fearmonger, but I watch a lot of forensic files, and you just got to be careful. So, is there anything else I have to say about this card? See, this is why I didn't want to do this, because I know myself, and I know I'm not going to just sit here and read you the cards. I'm going to go off on tangents. So yeah, you know, you're not stupid. I guess I could reference the tarot while I go along. High Priestess, King of Swords, man. King of Swords, High Priestess, you're smart as shit. You have great intuition. You know, you're smart. You're capable of making decisions. You know how to analyze a situation. Plus, you're intuitive. You're smart as shit. You can look into any scenario that makes you nervous, that doesn't seem, you know, quite right or whatever. I mean, if it doesn't seem right, if you know you're an intuitive person and something seems off, it's because it is. It's because there's something off. I mean, maybe sometimes it could be, this is a Six of Cups and the Death card, okay? Sometimes it can be a trigger from our shadow that maybe reminds us of something else. You know, and I'm guilty of that. You know, I will never, like the type of guy I just described to you, I'll never date another guy like that again, because I just feel like that's a guarantee that the guy's a douchebag. And even if he's not, I just know he's not for me. I just know that that type of person's not for me. I'm not saying I want to date a scrub or someone who doesn't shower or wash their hair and things like this, you know, whatever, but there's a happy medium in there where I prefer. So my cards say here, whoever I'm talking to, you're smart as shit. You have the power of your intellect and your intuition to navigate any situation that might be sketchy. Okay, so let's just move on. Card 16. Distance, isolation, perspective. Here we go again with the distance. Anyway. Distance not only gives nostalgia, but perspective and maybe objectivity. Robert Morgan. All right. Physical distance or emotional detachment serve to give us a greater comprehensive view. Distance may also provide a clearer overall perspective than a close-up would. Okay. From this vantage point, we can often get the bigger picture and reach different conclusions. A solitary woman strolls a desolate beach, her isolation providing a point of reflection. Distanced from the influence of others, this is a scene of personal contemplation. The floating monoliths provide perspective and suggest the distances with greater emphasis than would an empty sky. Perhaps representing issues in her life, their distance reinforces her isolation, but also may provide with the perspective. I'm sorry, I'm like, my eyes aren't locking in on the right words. It's that Mercury and Gemini. Okay, may also provide her with the perspective and clarity of vision that she is seeking. We need to strike a balance when assessing a situation. Are we too closely involved, or should we step back? See, this is very interesting to me, because we do have this guy, right? This is talking about the distance and the unknowns created in communication and interaction with other people, and how it can be a tricky energy. And I'm kind of leaning toward we might be talking about some kind of online situation, some kind of, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Long distance relationship, or it doesn't have to be long distance, but you know, some kind of online flirtation, something like that. Sorry, I'm trying to get myself off of the camera because my hair is not even dry. So where was I going? I just lost my train of thought. So right, so sometimes, and interesting that I brought that up. I'll go back to the felon, okay? And it didn't work on me. It did not work on me because I honestly, I don't know, probably if you're watching this, this won't sound crazy to you, but I hesitate to say things like this to people because I don't want them to think that I'm crazy. But, I mean, I hear voices a lot. And I mean, you know, I've been protected in one way or another in so many different situations where I was at risk, right? I know this. And even when I do hear, you know, the voices of protection, sometimes I don't listen. Because I am stupid, because I am crazy, because I think I'm invincible and I can, you know, handle any situation, you know, King of Swords, High Priestess, right? I'm a badass, so I'm not worried. But I was warned about this person who, I mean, I feel like that's the energy. This almost looks like the person I'm talking about. So I already knew, from a distance, from the vantage point of not being up close and personal with this person, I already knew, like, yeah, obviously there's something sketchy. Like, if I'm feeling it and I'm hearing it, there's obviously something off. But how he hooked me, and it's almost like he did a background check on me. You know, like the jokes about, you know, like free candy in the van, or, you know, free margaritas, tacos, whatever your thing is, free tarot cards. If you just get inside this, you know, unmarked van with no windows. But it was true, because I met his mother. She's a psychic astrologer. She's a tarot reader and an astrologer, and that's how he got me. I was like, well, you know, if his mom's like this person, how could he be bad, right? Oh, no. Worst person. One of the worst people I've ever met in my life. Worst person. And not even like to me, okay? This guy did horrible things to other people. And to me, it's just as bad. I'm not one of those people who is self-absorbed, or, you know, self-obsessed and sits around saying, well, it didn't happen to me, so it's fine. Or, you know, oh, they've never hit me, so it's fine. They've never disrespected me. No, I'm not one of those people. I care very much about what other people do to other people. In fact, a lot of times will jump up and fight and stand up for somebody else before I'll stand up for myself. So it's not about what he did to me. It's about what he did to other people. Which isn't funny. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's so insane. So what was I saying? Oh, yes. So from a distance, I knew something. Intuitively, I knew something was off with this person. But once I got up close, you know, here the game started, right? The love bombing and the, you know, turning on the fake. I mean, the layers of fake were obvious. The fake charm and blah, you know, just the whole 9 yards, right? This guy rolled out the red carpet trying to reel me in. And I mean, I don't know why. I don't care. I don't even care if he genuinely, like, did think I was the woman of his dreams. It doesn't matter. The point is that he sucks, and it was gross and fake and just really rubbed me the wrong way. But I wrote it out because at this point I'm just so curious. It's like a horror movie. I want to see how it ends. So yeah, however, and I'm not trying to put anybody down, and certainly if you do fall for this, it says nothing about your intelligence or your intuition. Some people are just really good at the game. And, you know, I'll say it before because I've said it. I'll say it before. Interesting. I'll say it again because I've said it before. You should not go around assuming that people are bad and that everyone's bad and out to get you. You should be able to assume the best of people. So I stand by that. So there's nothing wrong with you if you do fall for this kind of bullshit. In this case, I did not. In other cases, I have. So, you know, I'm right there with you. It's just sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So my point is that with somebody else, the lines that this guy was running, you know what I mean? The layers of thickness, you know, in the, you know, just the lengths that he would go to try to, you know, lock me down. They might work on somebody else. They just didn't work on me, especially up close. He probably would have had a better chance reeling me in from a distance because I wouldn't have been able to look at his face, look in his eyes, hear the tone of his voice, and all these things, right? Because that, to me, was that tore the whole thing down. So anyway, back to the cards. So there's something about that. There's something about, is something difficult to navigate from a distance where there's an illusion and there's a lot of unknowns and someone's able to hide a lot of things? Or is there power in the distance where you don't have to be up close and personal with the magician's tricks, you know, with the illusions in your face? guess it depends on the situation and the person and who you are and how you respond. But with this card, it does feel like maybe we're talking about some unknowns. And, I mean, I don't know, it could be, like I said before, some kind of travel opportunity. You know, you got to do your due diligence. I don't know why I always struggle saying that out loud. You got to do your due diligence to know what you're dealing with. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, right? And you're more than capable of doing that. I see it right here. Let's read this last card so I can move on. This is so long already. Okay, number 48 was at the bottom, and I looked at it, and I think it fits right in. Choices, risks, consequences. Men anger the gods with their pride, and in order to punish them, the gods looked on as Pandora opened her box, letting chaos loose. Hopefully you can see that well enough. I'm going to put it down now. So card number 48. Again, we have 25, 5, 16, and 48 here. So card 48 says, we may often be intrigued by a what-if scenario. This card depicts curiosity, temptation, and wanting to know. It's natural to want to know or want to try. And the only way to find out is to try. Didn't this other card say the same thing? I think it did. It's through such processes that we can grow and avoid stagnation. But there are causes and effects. Here, a regal queen opens a jeweled egg-shaped, egg-shaped treasure from which flies a column of fairies. Glowing like fireflies, they are now free. Why is there a glare? There's literally no light right here. What is unclear is whether the outcome of their release will be reflected on with fondness or regret. Our acts invariably result in consequences, both good or bad. So there's a balance to be struck. Unless we try, we'll never know, and that in turn may be a lost opportunity that will gnaw away if not acted upon. But equally so, are we fully appreciative of the possible repercussions that may result? So once again, this is some kind of choice, man. And the ultimate message, just reading these 4 cards here, the ultimate end of the day message is you won't know unless you try. And like I said, I love this card when it came out because that's one of my ultimate mantras of life. I don't regret a single thing I've ever done, but I have some regret about some things that I, haven't done. Did I say that right? Anyway, I don't regret anything I've ever done. But anything I haven't done, that I know I should have done, or, I thought about doing but decided not to, whatever. There's some regrets there, sure. Ultimately, I wouldn't change it in the now because I like where I'm at now, more or less. More or less, I guess. But yeah, you only regret the things you don't do that you know you should have done. So whatever, if you want to end on that, you can. That's what I have to say about that. Whatever it is that is, because it's starting to drive me crazy. Whatever the decision is here. This is like the second reading, and I was like, oh my God, it's the same thing. You are your own person. You are not, one of the messages here was you are not everybody else. You're your own person. And you are smart. You have the means to research and to find out the information that you need. And ultimately, Pandora's box. There's always going to be an unknown. Can you handle it? Yeah. Yeah, you can. There's always an unknown. All right, let's move on to these because I used the 7 energies to clarify these cards, to get more information on these. I don't normally read like this. This is totally just random. But I kind of liked it. So the first card we get from the 7 energies is the Uncharted Sea. Are you kidding me? Card number 46. So now we have 46 and 48. So card number 46, the Uncharted Sea. Stepping into the unknown without a map, moving beyond our comfort zone, choosing to do things differently, trusting in the ebb and flow of life, being in the dark, and letting curiosity lead. The faith that all will be well. Your comfort zone is sometimes exactly that, a safe, familiar harbor you finally come to in yourself. You have a sense that you don't need more than what is available right where you've landed in life. Now, however, is not one of those times. I'm telling you, like the archetypal hero's journey, the universe is inviting you to step into uncharted waters. Something is stirring, adventure is calling. And didn't I say this before I even did? I know I did. I don't know why I'm asking. I know I did. Before I even did the reading, last one before this, that's what I said. I'm like, I'm feeling like this weird stirring, and it's not just me. It's like a collective stirring of like adventure, moving, going beyond your comfort zone, taking risks, you know, like starting something new, moving, traveling, I don't know. But something is stirring. Adventure is calling for sure. You may want to resist this urge because it will involve leaving your comfort zone, but embarking on this journey is essential for your well-being. Navigating the uncharted aspects of yourself means you won't have a map because no one else has ever been here. On this journey, you cannot rely on the help you would typically expect from others who have gone before you. This new territory is yours to explore. See, there's something about that. There's something about the whatever's going on being unique to you. And you being your own person, okay? You're invited to be a pioneer, a path maker, a magical cartographer who draws your map with your own life force as the ink. This is the day to dive into a novel experience and fully immerse yourself in the new. You don't know what this sea of possibility has in store for you, so stay curious and refrain from judgment or the need to label. Give yourself the time and freedom to be curious without the limitations and boundaries projected by your memories or expectations. You are in an amazing place right now, and you will never be the same for surveying these waters. Yeah, I feel like there's some sort of life-changing opportunity. I mean, I hope that's not too dramatic, but it really does feel like that way. And what this card just said, stay curious. Refrain from judgment or the need to label. Give yourself time and freedom to be curious. Okay, Temperance and 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands came out in reverse. So it's like you have to give yourself time. You have to balance out a situation. You know, you have to ebb and flow with any situation. Feel it out. Give it time. Because whether it's a win or a lose situation is unknown. We don't know. It's sideways right now. Upright, it'd be a win. It'd be a victory. But it's sideways. It came out sideways. So, you know, win or lose, let your curiosity guide you. Because, I mean, this is just my perspective. You don't have to adopt it. But even when you're losing, you're winning. Because the experience is inevitably leading you somewhere that you're supposed to be. I don't know if that makes sense, but even when I'm losing, and I mean losing like to the point where I want to cry thinking about it, even those situations are wins, because your losses well, they bring in blessings. And I know that's a sensitive thing to say, because I know some people are in, you know, various different energies, in stages of loss or grieving or whatever the case may be, but I stand by it. I've lost a lot of very precious, important things, and I'm sitting here saying that I feel they've all come back to me in some form of blessing. Okay? So I'm just going to speak for myself, I guess. But that's how I feel. So, what else are we saying here? Yeah, don't project any boundaries, labels, limitations, memories, or expectations upon the situation. Whatever preconceived notions, Six of Cups, death. Six of Cups is like past, it's memories, it's, you know, things that have happened to you, whether they be in childhood or, you know, whatever, in your adult life. It's the past. Death. It's literally, it's letting go of that. It's transforming, and it's kind of what I just said. It's taking the memories, good, bad, whatever. Some of them are dead, you know, they're done. They're over, they're dust. They're dusty. Make them into something new. Transform them into something new that you can work with. But don't project backward, right? Don't project from the past old paradigms, old expectations, old, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Wounds into new situations. I feel like that's important for some reason. All right, I'm only on the second one, so I'm going to skip to it. Number 43. Spirit of gratitude. Well, I was just kind of talking about that. The spirit of gratitude. The prospering power of prayer, communion with the divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. In prayer, we connect directly to our higher power. It is a way for us to be in communion with the divine, a reminder that our lives are a sacred conversation we are continuously engaged in. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf. Exactly. I feel like that's very much here because I feel it about myself and my own life. Anyway, a power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffusing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humility, knowing we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful, prospering prayer of all. When you focus your attention on appreciation for even the smallest aspects of your life and what you have already experienced, it's like waving a magic wand. Everything you need comes to you without effort. Obstacles fall away and your purpose becomes even clearer. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and ask to be a channel for divine purpose, divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of Source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. I'm going to tell you, if you believe in anything, and I hope you do, because that's really what tarot is all about. I mean, it's, you don't have to, believe in a God necessarily, especially not a specific God. But I feel like whatever is happening here is divinely guided, for sure. And if it's being divinely guided, well, then the challenge might be your ego, right? I mean, I definitely, you know, I'll admit that if we go back to the felon scenario or any other scenario, really, where I've ignored the warning, where I've thought, oh, well, I'll be okay, or whatever the case may be. Well, for one, they covered my ass anyway. But, well, what was overriding the warning and the message? What was overriding that? Well, that was my ego, for sure. That was my ego thinking that I know better. That I, you know, well, I can outsmart, you know, a criminal. And ultimately, sometimes I can, but that's my ego. Right? It's my ego. The smart move would have been to listen and avoid the whole drama and protect myself and my psyche and my heart and my own innocence. And that's what the Spirit was trying to do. But even though my ego took the lead, I was still grateful for the education. I was still grateful for everything I got, even out of the situation with the felon. I got a freaking free deck of tarot cards. Plus, I got to meet a lady, you know, a pretty cool lady who actually inspired me in a way and showed me what, you know, an example of what somebody can do with the skills, you know, with the types of skills that her and I shared. It's like, I mean, she's way more educated than me in astrology. And, you know, she's had a lot more time in the world than me. But still, you know, she gave me an example. So, I mean, I learned a lot from that situation. And I also learned, you know, maybe listen. Maybe listen. Because I don't know if it was really worth going through that. But like I said, as far as I'm concerned, we're even Stevens on that. Like I said, Spirit covered my ass as it always does. As it always does. So I guess what I'm saying to you, if you're willing to listen, is that all these fears, you know, all these fears that you have about Pandora's box and whatever, like, are you willing to set them aside and trust in yourself? First of all, trust in yourself. King of Swords, High Priestess. Because you're smart as shit. You know how to get shit done. You know how to take care of things. You're intuitive. And you're intelligent. So can you trust in yourself and Spirit that you're going to be okay? That if something is being guided, you know, for you, toward you, or you toward it, that there's a reason for it. And that, I don't know, there's a reason for it. Let's move on. Because we're 44 minutes in. So, in perfect harmony, and this is where it gets good, because I love love. So if this is about a partnership, bro, you need to go for it. Dude, just seriously. Seriously. I know of, I'm trying to think before I say this out loud. Well, I'll just say this. I know of so many people, men and women alike, that regret not going for a relationship that they wanted. But can you honestly say that you regret any of the relationships that you've had. Okay, I know some people have probably had horrible relationships. Okay, so have I. So have I. But can you honestly say you regret them? I mean, once again, depending on what stage you are at, etc., maybe that's triggering. And I don't want to trigger anyone. But I don't. I'll speak for myself once again. I don't. They've all taught me something about, whether it was about human nature, which can be ugly, and I'm a little bit naive that way. I refuse to change. I'm not going to, be someone, like I said, who goes around thinking that everything is inherently bad, out to get me or hurt me. I'm just not. I'm going to believe that I can trust my intuition and that spirit is going to cover my ass if something goes down. But the most important thing is just to trust my intuition, and I'll avoid a lot of headaches, if I just override my ego. That is a big lesson I've learned over the last couple of years especially. I mean, and over and over and over for my whole life, to be honest. But it's what I've committed to putting into practice. To override my ego. Just fucking trust it. Trust the voice. Trust the guidance. If it's steering you away, if it's telling you stay away, stay away. But if you're being drawn and you're being pulled, then, you're kind of obligated to follow it. All right, so let's talk about perfect harmony. Togetherness, healthy and harmonious partnerships, commitment to a relationship, collaboration with others, and interdependence. You're entering a time of healthy, harmonious partnerships. Collaboration is key here, as you're invited to explore the potential inherent in making a commitment to another person, a group, or even yourself. Okay, I will say, the Temperance card to me, it's not just about patience, but it can also be a card of harmonious relationships. It's, balancing in that context. It's like two people who balance each other out, coming together to make, to take the past here, Six of Cups, death, to transform the past into something good. Alchemy. You're coming in to fix things, to harmonize them. It's card of balance. Harmonious relationships, patience and time that it takes to get there. And once again, the Six of Wands came out sideways, so, you can't... I feel like the message of that is that you can't know ever. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care how psychic you are. You're never going to know the outcome of certain things. You just have to go for them. The Six of Wands is going to be sideways until you get to the end. And some relationships don't end. So there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to have to, ebb and flow. If this is about a relationship, right? Then you might have to take the past and transform it. Let go of what's dead. Let go of what's old and stale. Bad memories. You might have to let those go. Let them die so that you can have something else. The next card that came after the Six of Cups was the Fool. So there you go. So that you can have a new beginning. That's what's required. This is a relationship or any context, but since we're on the Perfect Harmony card, I'm going to take it as a relationship. And the Four of Wands, this is a card of coming together in perfect harmony. This is a card of engagement, celebration, getting a new house. Maybe if it's not a relationship for you, maybe it's a new house. Maybe it's, I don't know, some sort of other milestone. But Four of Wands is good things. It's something to celebrate. It's stepping through a portal of some sort into a new life. The Fool, I mean, the Fool's the same. So whatever it is, I feel like it's something supercharged. I don't know what the dilemma is. I'll be honest with you. It's got to be fear. It's got to be just fear, I would think. Or some sort of Six of Cups death card, some sort of past baggage hanging over your head, maybe. This is not that situation. If you were, you know, the past does not have to be the future. So, I'll say that. And you can't know. I don't care who you are. You cannot know if something's going to be successful before you just take the leap and try. You can't. You just have to do your best once you get there. I wasn't done reading this. But this talks about what we were talking about last time. Okay. Okay, collaboration is key. You're invited to explore the potential inherent in making a commitment to another person, a group, or even yourself. Yes. Know that you're bringing different gifts to the table. See? Temperance. You're both bringing different gifts to the table. You don't have to be an exact lockstep with everyone else. You can be your authentic self. Didn't we just say that? Actually, sorry, I can't talk. I'm getting so excited. Being your authentic self actually brings you into alignment with others. Seriously. You are a note and a harmony that neither overpowers nor is overpowered by any other. Your beautiful interdependence allows you all to shine. Just keep an eye out for a sign that your subconscious, which has been conditioned by your previous hurts and experience, oh my God, that's what I just said, is working in a way not in accord with what your healthy self intends. Yes, it's not healthy. You need to get rid of it. Previous hurts and experiences holding you back, you need to put those to rest. It's not in accord with what your healthy self intends. For example, you may desire a relationship but expect to be betrayed. So you subconsciously or unconsciously sabotage it. You say you want to lose weight but continue to eat compulsively and avoid exercise. Yes, I do. In these moments, you are not attuned with yourself, and this disharmony spills out into all other parts of your life. If this is happening, you might want to take a hard look at yourself, do a self-inventory, forgive yourself, and then start singing a new song of self-love and acceptance. What's really great about this is how quickly you're now able to turn this around. Have no fear. It is so easy to get back in tune. All it takes is self-honesty and a willingness to heal. You can do it. This really is such a fortunate time. I absolutely feel that here. I absolutely feel that here. But should I even reference the tarot? I don't know if I need to, but absolutely, temperance. Two different people are bringing two different things to the table. Whenever you're coming together with another person, that's exactly what's happening. You're coming from one place, they're coming from another, and you bring them together and you mix it and you see what comes out. Will it be some big victory? We don't know, because you have to give it time. You have to let things settle. You have to wait. You have to be patient. And you have to come in without that baggage of the past. You can't sabotage something new because of something old. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That's why I said last reading and this one, I refuse to let the bad behavior of other people cloud how I see everything else. You can't let that happen. So All right, I'll recap on those in a minute, but there you go. Number 15. Whew, a powerful move. Okay, this is where my mind got blown. Whew, excuse me. Because if you watched the last reading, if you didn't watch the last reading, you should. The Emperor in that reading was from this deck that I'm using for the tarot here, one of the tarot. And I said, doesn't that look like a chess piece? Doesn't it look like he's, you know, got his claw, his talons, whatever, on a chess piece that's been knocked over? There are 2 chess pieces in this card. And one of them is on top of whatever this is, this disco ball with a key and a lock and whatever. And it has wings, okay? So tell me that's not synchronistic, and it's just ridiculous. And then there's another chess piece down here, kind of, I don't know if it's being knocked over or if it's wobbling, or maybe it's dancing, because maybe we're at a chess disco hall, I don't know. But let's just read what this card says. So a powerful move, and I even said a power move. It's crazy. So key concepts: action, movement with purpose, effort, putting into motion your intention, making choices from an empowered and thoughtful place, positive change. The time for rest is over. Change is in the air. This is a powerful time when deliberate action is needed to move your intentions out of the realm of thought and into the material, from ideas into action. Interesting. How do you approach your relationship to the visible world as it influences the visible? We'll see, that kind of echoes this. Because the King of Swords is all about the visible world. The King of Swords is about, you know, what's logical? What can I see? Show me the statistics. Show me the facts. And then the High Priestess is about what you can't see, right? The High Priestess sees all the stuff you can't see with your naked eye. And you have both here. So how do you approach both of those worlds? Do you see the relationship? Do you recognize yourself as a unique, whole, and worthy being who has a special place in the world, whose offerings are valuable, and whose life has meaning? You are a mighty co-creator, so step into that power and see your intentions manifest in the world. Real positive change is possible when you make choices from an authentic sense of self and take a conscious step toward your dreams. Didn't I just say that last time too? Sometimes you just need to take that one step. And then I posted, if you'd like to see it, I posted a quote. It's by Nietzsche on my Facebook, because I found the quote later. It said, now I still don't remember it, but it's something about, I took 3 steps. You know, I took 1 step was a good thought, the next was a good deed, or just look up the Nietzsche quote about 1 step, a good thought, a good deed, a good word. I think that's how it goes. Something like that. Okay. So, to take steps toward your intended experience, start first with the way you think. A good thought. Let curiosity be the focus now and display a willingness to discover new things instead of confirming your past expectations. Be open, be clear about your motives and desires, and set your intention. Then step into the magic, just waiting for you to claim it. Traveling, moving, flowing, flying, whatever describes the changes in your life. Know that these are called for now. Act with thoughtfulness and awareness, and remember to be true to yourself. What is called for now is doing the thing that needs to be done. All will be better than well. What an exciting time indeed. Jesus. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this, because I feel like this reading started with the last reading and now we're continuing it. It's the same energy. I knew it was the same energy. And now reading all of these cards out, you know, reminding myself of what all these cards mean, it's just like, are you kidding? It's more than I even realized. Pardon the interruption there, guys. I had to go grab a coffee and take a pill because about 15 minutes ago, in video time, not in real time in my life, but in the video, about 15 minutes ago, I started having a really bad gallbladder attack, which I'm sure will go away, I think, knock on wood, but I don't want to leave you hanging, so I'm going to wrap this up. I mean, we left off on the powerful move, right? The power move, and just taking this all together, I don't think most of you, okay, if you are dealing with a potential, like, dating a felon situation, use your intuition, okay? You're the goddamn King of Swords and the High Priestess. You know, right? Do you want to go on the adventure? Do you need a lesson? If so, if you're bored, then go on the adventure and, you know, see what happens. Spirit will protect you, I'm sure. But otherwise, if you're not in the market for a lesson and you think you're in that situation, then just avoid it. But I don't think that's actually what we're talking about here. I think we're talking about the fears of the unknown, the what ifs, you know, the mental gymnastics of it all, the holding on to something from the past or experiences, maybe multiple experiences in the past where, you know, maybe you got burned. But the Death card is here telling me that we need to let go of that. Even if it's with this person, if this is a person, which I kind of feel like it is, but whatever it is, okay? Whatever it is, it's similar to something from your past. And, I mean, looking at these two cards, you're likely projecting some sort of imprint from a past experience onto this one. And you need to let that shit go. Period. That's what this says to me. You need to let that shit go. Transform it, shape it, mold it in your mind however you need to be able to see from a fresh, new perspective. You see? You see? Let go of this dead one. It's old. It's done. It's expired. Look through the fresh side of things. Okay, because you have a new beginning, you have a new cycle, you have a new opportunity to dive into something that I feel is really good. It's going to give you a reason to celebrate. I mean, if this is a debate about proposing to someone, I mean, come on, man. Come on. I hope I hope we're not in our heads this much, because I can feel it. I can feel the back and forth. I can feel the, oh my God, what if this happens? And oh my God, you know, like disaster scenario. Just, you need to stop. You know how to stop that? You know how to stop that mental crazy making? It's to just go and do it. It's just to do the damn thing. That's how you stop it. You just do the damn thing. And the fear starts to go away. The fear turns into adrenaline, right? You have to understand what I'm talking about. God, I hope you have some experience you have in your back pocket that you can pull out to understand what I'm talking about. You just have to do the damn thing. It's a good thing. It's a good idea. There's going to be a reason for you to celebrate in that situation. Okay, and I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The Six of Wands did come out in not in reverse. It came out sideways. So there's no guarantees, but there's no guarantees in anything. You just have to give it time. You have to give it time. You have to see. You have to have patience with yourself and with other people. Right? You have to just do your best and see what happens. Because if this is, if this is something, and you'll know if this is for you, I think. I don't think there's going to be any question. Because this is something burning inside of you. And it's making you a little nuts in your brain because you're scared and you're worried and you're even diving into things in the past that are telling you, oh, be careful. Oh, don't take a risk. Oh, maybe not. And it's self-defeating and it's self-sabotaging. I think almost every card here is telling you to go for it. It's telling you, yes. It's telling you that Spirit has your back, that this is a divinely guided, this is something that, your spirit team, your ancestors, everyone's backing this. But it's scary, right? And I feel like, I don't know how much of a guarantee there is that you're going to see this reading, but hopefully someone else is getting this message if you don't, and they're going to give it to you. Because I feel like there's a reason, this is a big fat green light on something. High Priestess, King of Swords, whatever your fears are, and I guess that's maybe the bottom line. Use your logic and your intuition. You need to bring those two things together, and you can conquer this. You can figure it out. But I feel like this is a bunch of cards here coming out together, telling me exactly what's going on. It's that you're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of the what ifs. You're trying to talk yourself out of something that literally Spirit and the universe, and I feel your ancestors here, for some reason, I want to say that, are pushing you to go for it, to come out of some weird stagnant energy that I know you want to come out of. I can feel it. I can feel that you want to do it. And it's just like, you just need to be brave. And I'm trying to put myself in that situation. And once again, I feel like I'm a great person to deliver this, but maybe not, because I don't. It's hard for me to put myself in that mind space of talking myself out of something I feel pulled to, because I've been in that position so many times where I know by now that I need to go. When I'm pulled, I need to go. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can see in the crystal ball or not. It's just like, I know. That probably doesn't convince you. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know, it reminds me of that, and I don't know, I'm stealing this from somebody because I heard someone say this. I don't know who it was. I apologize if that person sees this and they know that I stole it from them. It's like the diving board analogy, right? It's like when you're diving off a diving board into some water, into a pool. I mean, there's a certain way to do it without hesitation, to do so gracefully, and to get into the water safely. But if you hesitate, right, what happens? What happens to people who hesitate? What happens to people who get scared, who second guess themselves? I've seen it happen. Sometimes you hit your head, Sometimes you smack your ass on the board. You have to just jump with confidence, knowing that the world has your back, the universe has your back. Whatever this is something you're supposed to do. And you need to let go of whatever past influences or outside influences potentially, because I did hear that message a couple times here of other people influencing you, and you needing to know that you are your own person. You have your own unique set of skills and gifts and abilities, intelligence and experience. Your experiences are unique to you. They don't belong to anybody else. And anything from the past that is muddying your waters and muddying your view of your future, whatever, that needs to go too. If you feel genuinely pulled toward whatever this is, you need to take the risk. I feel like if you don't, you're going to regret it. I feel like that is what is being set up here. You're going to regret it. And you should know that. You should know that by now. Whoever I'm talking to, you should know that by now. That if you fail to go towards something that you feel drawn to, that's a regret waiting to happen. So, I'm just going to wrap it up there. Whoever I'm talking to knows what this is about. You'll know if this is for you. And if you do think this is for you and you have not watched my last reading, you should watch that one too, because this is the same thing. This is just a little more detail, I feel, into that. Alright, so good luck, guys. Make good choices. You know what's best for you, especially whoever I'm talking to. I'll see you next time.